Have you ever climbed into bed, pulled up the covers and thought, "Why am I so tired, but I just can't fall asleep?" Or maybe you fall asleep just fine, but then you're wide awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. Getting quality rest can become more challenging as we age, even though we need it more than ever. And what many people don't realize is, sometimes it's not about what you do during the day, but what you do right before bed that makes all the difference. The truth is, after 65, our bodies start to respond differently to habits we may have had for decades. Things that used to be harmless might now quietly interfere with your sleep, your energy levels, and even your heart health. Doctors have been warning about some surprisingly common bedtime routines that could be doing more harm than good. And in this video, we're going to talk about 5 of the biggest ones. These are things you might be doing every night without even realizing how they're affecting your body, your mind, and your long-term well-being. But don't worry, this isn't about making huge life changes or giving up things you enjoy. It's about simple, gentle shifts that can help you sleep better, feel stronger, and wake up more refreshed. Think of it like giving your body a little nighttime gift, a way of saying, "I care about you." Let's start with one that might surprise you: eating too late in the evening. Now, I know for many people, a light snack before bed feels comforting. It might even feel like a small ritual, something warm, maybe a cup of tea with a biscuit or a little bowl of cereal. But here's what most folks don't know. When you eat too close to bedtime, your digestive system stays active long after your head hits the pillow. And that can lead to a whole cascade of issues: acid reflux, indigestion, disrupted sleep, even changes in blood sugar. As we age, our metabolism slows down, and our digestive system becomes more sensitive. Food that used to settle quickly might now linger longer, making it harder to fall into deep, restful sleep. Doctors often recommend finishing your last meal or snack at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. That gives your body time to digest properly before it starts shifting into rest mode. If you find yourself genuinely hungry late at night, it might be a sign that your earlier meals weren't balanced enough. Try adding a bit more protein and fiber to your dinner to keep you satisfied longer. And if you still want something small in the evening, go for something very light and easy to digest, like a few almonds or a small piece of fruit. It's not about strict rules. It's about learning to listen to your body's changing needs and adjusting with care. Now, another habit that seems innocent but can do serious damage over time is drinking alcohol before bed. You might think, but a glass of wine helps me relax. And it's true. Alcohol can make you feel sleepy at first. But here's the trick. While it might help you fall asleep faster, it actually makes your sleep much lighter and more fragmented. That means you'll spend less time in the deep stages of sleep where your body does its real healing and restoration. Even just 1 or 2 drinks in the evening can interfere with your natural sleep cycle. You may find yourself waking up more often, feeling dehydrated, or even needing to use the bathroom more during the night. Over time, this kind of disrupted sleep can leave you feeling groggy, forgetful, or anxious during the day. What doctors often recommend instead is finding other calming bedtime rituals, things that truly relax your nervous system without messing with your sleep architecture. Try sipping a warm herbal tea like chamomile, taking a soothing bath, or listening to gentle music. Even 5 minutes of slow, deep breathing before bed can have a powerful effect on your sleep quality. Think of it like giving your mind a gentle signal. It's time to unwind, to let go of the day, and to enter into peaceful rest. Now, I know some of these habits may have been part of your routine for years, and it's okay. There's no judgment here. The beautiful thing about this stage of life is that we can change gently and wisely in ways that truly support our health and happiness. You're not stuck with the same patterns forever. In fact, you have more freedom than ever to create a life that feels good and nourishes you deeply. So tonight, maybe take a little pause before your usual bedtime routine. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing helping me feel calm, rested, and ready for sleep? Or is it something that's been sneaking in out of habit? That kind of awareness alone is powerful, and every small shift you make in your evening routine can add up to better sleep, more energy, and a brighter, more joyful morning. If this kind of gentle guidance feels helpful to you, I'd love to keep walking this journey with you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode designed just for you, because your well-being matters, and you deserve to feel your best every single day. Sometimes we think rest should come naturally. We get into bed, close our eyes, and hope for the best. But as the years go by, sleep becomes something we have to prepare for. It's almost like setting a table before a nice dinner. If one thing is out of place, if the light's too bright, the mood isn't right, or the environment is distracting, everything feels a little off. And that brings us to something most people overlook: screen time right before bed. You know what I'm talking about. Those phones, tablets, TVs, or even laptops. It's so easy to scroll through a few pictures, check the news, or fall into a video rabbit hole. It feels harmless, maybe even relaxing. But here's the problem. These screens emit something called blue light, and blue light sends a very strong message to your brain. It says, stay awake. Now that might have been fine when we were younger, when our melatonin levels were strong and our sleep cycles more resilient. But after 65, our bodies start to produce less melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. So any extra interference, like blue light from screens, can throw off the whole system. What ends up happening is, even if you're physically tired, your brain doesn't get the memo. It stays active, alert, and confused about why you're lying in the dark. Doctors suggest turning off all screens at least an hour before bedtime. And yes, that can feel like a big ask, especially if you're used to winding down with a favorite show or a quick peek at social media. But here's a gentle alternative. Switch to activities that help your brain settle down rather than stay stimulated. Try reading a printed book, journaling your thoughts, or just sitting quietly with a warm drink and soft lighting. You'd be amazed at how quickly your body starts to recognize that it's time for rest when the signals around you are clear and consistent. You might also consider creating a little bedtime ritual that doesn't involve screens at all. Something simple, like dimming the lights, fluffing your pillows just right, maybe even playing some soft music or nature sounds in the background. These small cues tell your body, it's safe, it's quiet, you can let go now. And speaking of letting go, this next one is a big one: worrying before bed. Oh yes, those racing thoughts that sneak in just as your head hits the pillow. Did I take all my pills today? I wonder how the kids are doing. What if I forget something tomorrow? Sound familiar? You're not alone. As we get older, our minds can get even busier, especially in the quiet moments. And while worrying is a very human thing to do, bedtime is the worst time to do it. It activates your stress response and floods your body with hormones that are meant to keep you awake and alert. Not exactly ideal for sleep. Doctors actually see this quite often in patients over 65. Chronic stress and bedtime anxiety can lead to insomnia, higher blood pressure, and even increased risk of memory problems. The good news? There are ways to quiet the mind without ignoring what you're feeling. One technique that helps a lot of people is keeping a small worry journal next to the bed. It's just a place to jot down any anxious thoughts or reminders before you lie down. Think of it as transferring those thoughts from your head to paper. You don't have to solve them. You just write them out, close the book, and tell yourself, I've put that down for the night. Another powerful tool is breathing. Not just any breathing, but slow, conscious breaths where you inhale deeply through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Doing this for just a few minutes can signal to your nervous system that it's time to relax. You don't need any fancy apps or gadgets, just your breath, your awareness, and a little patience. And remember, there's no shame in struggling with sleep. Many people do. But worrying about not sleeping can become a cycle all its own. That's why being gentle with yourself is just as important as any technique or tip. You're not trying to force yourself to sleep. You're creating the conditions for sleep to come naturally. These quiet nighttime moments can actually become something you look forward to, especially when they're free from screens, free from pressure, and full of calming routines that feel like a gift to yourself. It's like you're saying, I deserve peace, I deserve rest, and I'm going to give myself that gift tonight. So, as you start thinking about your own evening routine, take a moment to reflect. Are any of these habits part of your nightly life? Are they helping you rest or quietly working against you? The answers aren't always obvious at first, but with a little attention, things start to shift. And when they do, your sleep gets better. Your mornings feel lighter, and your days feel brighter. If this message is landing with you, if it feels like a reminder you needed or a conversation you've been waiting for, then I'd love to have you stick around. Hit that subscribe button so you can be part of a community that's all about feeling better, aging wiser, and living each day with intention and joy. There's something beautiful about growing older. It gives us the chance to slow down and finally tune in to what our bodies have been trying to tell us all along. And when it comes to sleep, the body speaks softly but clearly. One of the messages it often sends, though we may not notice at first, is how much it dislikes late-night stimulation, especially from things like caffeine. Now, most people think of caffeine as just a morning pick-me-up, a hot cup of coffee with breakfast, maybe an afternoon tea. But here's the tricky part. Caffeine doesn't leave your system as quickly as you might think. In fact, it can stay in your body for up to 8 hours or more. And as we age, our metabolism slows, so it takes even longer for caffeine to be processed and cleared out. So that cup of coffee at 3 p.m., it might still be lingering in your system by bedtime. And even if you do manage to fall asleep, caffeine can prevent you from reaching those deeper, more restorative stages of sleep, leaving you feeling foggy, stiff, or just plain worn out the next morning. Now I know what you might be thinking, but I've been drinking coffee my whole life. It never kept me up before, and that's completely understandable. But again, the body after 65 is more sensitive. It reacts differently. What used to be a minor effect can now become a major disruption. Doctors often recommend switching to non-caffeinated alternatives by early afternoon. Herbal teas like peppermint, rooibos, or chamomile are wonderful choices. Not only are they free of caffeine, but some of them also have calming properties that gently support your transition into evening. It's not about giving up your favorite morning brew. It's about knowing when your body says, okay, that's enough for today. And remember, caffeine isn't just in coffee. It hides in other places too, like chocolate, certain pain medications, even some flavored waters or diet sodas. So, if you're experiencing restless sleep or trouble nodding off, it might be worth taking a second look at your daily habits. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just experiment. See how your body responds when you ease up a little earlier in the day. You might be pleasantly surprised. Now let's talk about something that's less about what you put in your body and more about how you move it, or don't. Many people don't realize that being too inactive during the day can actually make it harder to fall asleep at night. Our bodies are designed to move, even gently. And when they don't get that movement, they don't build up enough sleep pressure, that natural, healthy fatigue that helps us feel ready for bed. You might think, but I'm tired all day. And that's totally fair. But here's the catch. There's a difference between feeling tired from boredom or lack of stimulation, and being physically tired in a way that actually prepares your body for restful sleep. Doctors often recommend light movement during the day, like walking, stretching, or even doing a bit of gentle gardening. These kinds of activities don't have to be intense. They just need to get your body engaged, your blood flowing, and your muscles moving a little. And if you're someone who tends to sit a lot during the day, try spacing out your movement. Maybe a short walk after lunch, and another one before dinner. That light, regular activity can make a big difference by the time you're ready to wind down. But here's the important part. Don't exercise too close to bedtime. That's where many people go wrong. You might think that a little nighttime stretching or even a late walk is harmless, but physical activity raises your heart rate and core temperature, which can actually delay sleep if done too late. Ideally, you want to finish any exercise at least 2 hours before you plan to sleep. That gives your body time to cool down and ease into rest mode naturally. So instead of nighttime exercise, focus on calming movement. Try light stretching or slow breathing, maybe a warm bath to relax your muscles. These small choices help prepare your body to shift from go mode to rest mode, and that transition is everything when it comes to getting quality sleep. It's easy to forget how much these little habits matter, what time you stop drinking coffee, whether you scroll through your phone, if you move enough during the day. But every one of these choices sends a signal to your body. And when all the signals are pointing in the right direction, sleep starts to feel like a gift again, not a struggle. And that's what I want most for you. Not just better sleep, but better mornings. The kind where you wake up feeling clear, refreshed, even a little hopeful about the day ahead. Because you deserve that. We all do. So tonight, as you get ready for bed, think about what small shift you could make. Maybe it's putting the phone away a little earlier. Maybe it's skipping that late-day coffee. Or maybe it's just taking 5 quiet minutes to breathe deeply and thank your body for all it does. You're not just getting older, you're getting wiser. And the more you listen to your body, the better it will serve you. If you found this conversation helpful, inspiring, or even just comforting, I'd love to have you as part of our community. Please take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We share tips like this every week to help you feel your best, live with joy, and embrace each season of life with strength and grace.